Good morning, this is the ExactTrades.com movers report for August 25th, 2011. First trade we have for today is PSS. You can see this gap up this morning. Going to open probably around this 1350, maybe down to 13. We're going to look to short this into the gap, so we're going to short this below the open. Going to look for strong volume on the sell-off. Going to basically be anticipating people taking some profit from this move up. So I would prefer it opening anywhere between this 14 to 13. If it opens below 13, I might trade it, but just start with a smaller position, reduce your risk a little bit because you're going to be taking some of the money out of the trade. Now, once it breaks below the open, you're going to have a 1% profit target from your average entry price. Take a little off there at 1%, move down your stop to break even, and then see if you can come down and get to 2%. So you're looking at about 13 to 14 cents from your open, and then about 26 to 27 cents for the second order, for your second exit. And then I would leave a small piece. Could come down to this 12 and going to have support here at 1050. So possibly could come down into this 11 to 1050 area. I think 12 is going to be a pretty good target. Still plenty of money in this trade. So just watch for that. And it also could bounce off the open. If that happens, just set your alert, see if it'll turn over. Once it breaks back below the open or the low of the day, take this short and then just follow your profit targets and your trailing stop. Next we have TiVo. It's also gapping up, going to open probably around this 9 to 880 area. You see this resistance level back here. The higher it opens, the better. I'm going to be shorting this back into the gap if we have some weakness. Look for this to go below the open or the low of the day. Take this short. It's a low dollar stock, so you're going to have a pretty quick profit target on your first order. I would take half off, around 8 to 9 cents from your entry. Move down your stop, and then look for another 8 to 9 cents on your second. Take another quarter off, and then leave a small piece to see if you can trail it down. Going to have some pretty strong support here at 860, and then could come down to this 830 area. But I think 860 to 845. Should see a bounce somewhere in this area, so just keep your eye on that. I won't be taking this long. I'm going to stay on the short side of TiVo. Next I'm looking at BCS. Going to open at 1065 to 1060. Going to look to short this into the gap. So about 11 cents from your entry is going to be your first profit target. About 20 to 22 cents would be your second profit target. Should see some support here, possibly around 1025 area, so right in there. And then also going to have strong resistance at 10. So if we don't get a bounce here, expect one probably around this 10 price, but still pretty good money. I can see 3 to 4% on this trade. Now we're looking at DEO. Going to open here probably around 78 to 77 area. Most likely here in the 77.50. We're going to look to short back into this gap. Going to have some support here around 76, so right in that area. And then some more support at 75. If we fill the gap, probably could come into this 74 area right in here. So those are the areas to watch as you're shorting into this. I would look for some selling off of the open, making a new low of the day. On this one, you could start with a smaller position, wait for a bounce, see if it makes a lower high, take your second half, and then look for that new low. Also keep your eye on the market, see if we get some selling or a breakthrough support level. It's going to help this trade out. First profit target is going to be about 77, 78 cents from your entry. Watch this 76 depending on where you open. So taking your profit from your average entry, see if it'll break down through some more support, take a little bit more off, and then I would just trail a stop and see if you can come into 75. I think you're probably going to find the most support here around 75 area. Could even be 75.40, 75.50 right in there. So anywhere in this range I think is going to be the strongest support. Next we have FIO. You can see the support level here just about 2086. It tried to gap up this morning and it's pulling back. I'm actually going to look for this to break down below this 2084 area to take this short. I would take this short around 2074. First profit target is going to be 2054. So right about 2054. Take some more off at about 2030. So right about there. And then I would leave a small piece to see if you can come and test this 20. You should find some good support at 20. Probably not going to take this long off of 20. Just not quite enough money in that for me to take that long on the reversal. Next we have FFIV gapping up here. Probably going to open around 76. Going to look to take this long off the gap. It's a nice gap, but it's not that big. It's more of a breakaway gap over resistance levels. It's a bullish move. Going to look to take this long on a new high off the open. You could start with a small position, look for a pullback, see if it holds that low of the day or a higher low. Get your second half and then look for a push to a new high. First profit target is going to be about 77 cents, 76 cents from your entry. Move up your stop and then look for another 1% on your second target, and then you might want to leave a small piece open. We're also looking here at the daily chart just to get a better idea of resistance levels. So you have some resistance here on FFIV at about 77.46, 45. Watch for that. Probably going to have a little bit more resistance here at 79.50, coming into 80. 80 is probably going to face some very solid resistance. So just watch these. I think 80 would be the ultimate target if you're trailing a stop on your last piece. 77.35, 77.40 area. It's going to be a good spot for you to get out of that trade too. So just watch for weakness there. Next we have BWS. You can see this support level here right about on 7. We're gapping down. Look like we're going to open below that 7 support area. Very bearish move, very weak move. We're going to look to take this short off of the open with a new low. Watch for strong volume and some selling. Take this short. First profit target is going to be about 7 cents from your entry. Second profit target is going to be about 14 cents from your entry. Then you can decide if you want to keep a small piece of this and just trail the stop on it. I'm thinking that 6 is going to be, solid support. Watch for that. Possibly could fail 6, but so just keep your eye on it. If you do get a bounce, looks like it's going to hold off of this, then I would go ahead and take the last of your profit or tighten your stop. Next we're looking at ORIT, gapping up this morning. Probably going to open around this 13 level. Could open as high as 1340. Going to look to take this long off the open. This is a strong gap, breakaway gap. Look for good volume again. It's important that we have the volume. We want to make sure the buyers or the sellers are in these trades when we take them off the gap. Take this long off the open on a new high. First profit target is going to be about 13 cents from your entry. Second profit target is going to be 26 cents. So still looking for that 1%, 2% target. Then move up your stop and then just trail a stop on your last piece if you decide to keep the last piece. Going to come into possibly 14 as resistance level here. And let's take a look at the daily chart. So you see here we got this 1320. There's going to be some pretty good resistance there if we get a breakout through that 1340 area. Going to come into 14, possibly even 1450. So just watch for these levels. You can see we're still staying strong on this. So this is going to be a key level right here at this 1320. So just keep your eye on that where we open. We could open above it. It's still going to be a pretty good trade from there. Just watch it hold. It could pull back a little bit off the open. Set your alert at the high of the day or just under the high of the day. Then when it gets close to breaking out over that high of the day, you can go ahead and take it long and just have your profit target set up, move up your stop. So those are the trades for today. Good luck to everyone, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.